But I'm going to take you inside of Ime Udoka'S mind or head, however you want to call it, pause, uh, with players. And shouts out to Tari Eason, of course. We'll get into him. Outstanding game. Some would say this guy should be in the starting lineup, but who would you take out to put him in the starting lineup? Before the season, I would have said Dylan Brooks. But Dylan Brooks is coming in playing better than he did last season. More defense, timely shots. When the Houston Texans are stagnant on offense, Dylan Brooks is a guy who hits that big three, who gets that big steal, that big rebound, all the hustle points. So it's going to be hard to say put him to the bench. Dylan Brooks, Tari Eason. Now, I would say this, Jabari Smith Jr., I'm not saying put him to the bench, but when he's not playing well, when he's not putting up shots, because you know he can lure himself to sleep as well. Sometimes he's not even part of the offense. Now, he hits big shots after going 3 quarters without shooting at all. You know, he'll hit a timely three or a big rebound, put back, and one. But it's times throughout the game, it seems like he's not even part of the offense. If he starts well, keep him in there, give him his minutes. But it seems like he's not part of the offense. He's not a high rebounder. Things are not happening for him. Sit him down, give Tari Eason all those minutes, especially Tari Eason playing well. But he just had a career night last night. But we're going to get into Alperen Sengun. Alperen Sengun, yes, he had 10 rebounds. He was scoring. The whole team started off slow in this ball game. That's how they got into a hole of 31 points down. But Alperen Sengun, he's a defensive liability, right? And he have tendencies of turning over the ball and making bad shots, bad decision shots. But in this game in particular, without feeling Ime Udoka on this, he misses a lot of layups, a lot of bunnies. He's out of position on defense where he could take a charge, but he kind of get stuck, stood up, and end up just bumping the guy, sending him to the free throw line. Bad positioning on defense. On offense, you just want this guy to get the ball and bang, bang, and get his shot off. Plays with the ball too much. I'm going to be honest with you, every time he has the ball in his hands, I'm very nervous as a fan watching a game because he's very loose with it. He likes to play around with it, go behind his back, go between his legs. He likes to dribble around in traffic, and he turns the basketball over. As far as his shot selection, sometimes his shot selection is not good as well, it depending on the time in the game. Now, do you remember his little flamingo shot? Which was a bad shot. Houston was in a bad spot. And he does the Dirk Nowitzki over there in the the left-hand corner of the court. This is a little back flip shot, you know, barely grazed the rim. It was a bad shot. Can he hit it? Yes, he can hit it. It's just Alperen Sengun does things in crucial moments that when you're supposed to take care of the basketball, back in, make your one move, get your layup, bang, be strong. And he has sequences where he is strong. But a handful of times, he's doing too much with that basketball in traffic instead of just getting the easy shot. I think Ime Udoka saw that. Not only that he was off early, you know, he started picking up as the game got older. But at that time, you know, he was bought in. We need defense. We need defense to get back in this ball game. We need hustle. Tari Eason turned that thing around and he wanted to go small. He wanted to go small. So, yes, I like Alperen Sengun. The whole team likes Alperen Sengun. But Ime Udoka is looking at this thing the way I see it. Like Alperen Sengun. Trust me. I'm not knocking the guy. But you have to be honest with yourself. He does make crucial mistakes at certain points of the game that can cost you the game. Being loose with the basketball. Instead of just getting into your shot. All the pivots, behind the back passes, between his legs, flamingo shots, times that he's not a high rebounder, bad defensive positioning. So Ime Udoka has to weigh it sometimes. Houston Rockets didn't lose this game because Alperen Sengun got benched. They lost this game early in the first quarter, second quarter, and on. They just happened to fight themselves back into the ball game. So Alperen Sengun's benching did not caused the Rockets to lose the game. If he was in there, could he cause them to probably pull it out and win it? Yes. There's stake in that, of course. That could have happened. He would have gave them that down low presence that they needed when they couldn't score in overtime. Could have just dumped the ball down to him and he could have gotten to his action and maybe got us a layup, got us a dunk, hit a three, made a crucial, nice pass. Who knows? But when you go through that game and you're feeling the game, and when you're down by that many points, well, your degree of error is very slim. Very slim. That's why I say I understand what Ime Udoka was thinking about at that time. Everything was crucial. Every turnover was magnified. Every missed shot was magnified. You had to get back. You had to defend to get back into the ball game. Alperen Sengun wasn't having the best game of his life. Yes, he pulled down 10 rebounds. He only played 21 minutes. You know, for a small sample size, you look at it and you say, man, he probably could have had 20 rebounds. He could have had probably 30 points. At that time, Ime Udoka wasn't waiting to see. He wasn't waiting to see. He was going with what was hot right now, what was going to get him back in the ball game. Defense, scrapping, which we all know defense is not Sengun's high side. Rotating, switching is not Sengun's high side. Shot selection, very sketchy. Missed free throws, very sketchy. And then you will say, well, Jalen Green, he was off. He was like, what, 2 for 13? Jalen Green was off. But you know what? Jalen Green is a home run hitter. And he knows that, and I know that. He can miss all those shots, but if he strike that match, he can take you home on his heroic shooting throughout a ball game. Well, if he gets hot, he can rally your team to win. Jalen Green. And I'm going to get into Jalen Green because I'm a little disappointed in Jalen Green as well. Very disappointed in Jalen Green. 2 for 13. Okay? First off, you just came from getting a 12 rebound game. Tell me, how do you come in the next game and only get 1 rebound? Bad shooting don't have nothing to do with your rebounding. Bad defense don't have nothing to do with your lack of rebounding. So coming off a nice game, actually few games he done had. And as a fan, Rockets fan, we're thinking he's finally arrived. And to me, he has arrived. This is a big stump in the road. But Jalen Green's gonna have to learn. He can't have games like this. You can have off nights, but you have to pick it up in other areas. You have to rebound. You have to get steals. You have to play defense. Get out and run. Pass the ball. You can't be a one-trick pony, and we were thinking he got away from that. This is a bad game for Jalen Green as well as he played. As well as he played. He can't have games like this no more. And he wouldn't have games like this if he just quit trying to shoot himself out of a slump. And Ime Udoka, on this, I will say this. He got to find ways to get him the ball in easier positions to score. Not just on top of the key. We talked about that before as well. Don't just get your best player on top of the key operating. All eyes on him. As you see, credit to Golden State. They was focused. They knew what Jalen Green's been doing the past few games. What they do, body him up, pressuring, trapping, try to run him off the ball. And Jalen Green, he's going to try to hoist his shots up. He's going to try to press the issue. He's going to miss some bunnies. He's going to turn it over. He's going to miss some bad shots. He can't get in that kind of way. Ime Udoka and this team has to find a way to get him the ball in better scoring position. Put him down low. I know you think, oh, he's just a little short guard. What do you mean post him up? Still post him up. Make the defense react. Get him closer to the basket where he can make that pass out of the double team. Hit him at the high little free throw line post. Give him the ball right there. Let him operate closer to the basket. Make the team respond. Make them double team from that angle. Not always on top of the key. So Jalen Green, congratulations to you this year. on your contract and how you started this season. I'm ecstatic by it. Everybody's excited. We're saying this is the year he's finally getting it. You can see a difference in his game. You can see the confidence. You can see the body language. You see all of that with Jalen Green this year. But a game like this, you cannot have that's going backwards. Can't do that. You're going to have bad shooting games. Nobody's talking about a bad shooting game. But when you do, find other ways. Drive the rest of the game. Get fouled. Go to the free throw line. You can get 20 points just off shooting free throws if you're aggressive enough. You know, you're attentive and just getting to the lane. But don't take all these wild three-point shots. That's what the team wants you to do. They want to keep you out there with a nice contest, hoping you airball, hoping you miss. Keep the pressure on the defense at all times going into every game this season. You will be okay. And the coaching staff get you the ball slashing, get you the ball in the low post, get you in the high post, free throw line, where you have a shorter space to operate in to get to the basket. You're cat quick. Nobody can stay in front of you. You just can't operate on the top key all game long. Got to move it around. So Jalen Green coined this. 2 for 13 on top of that. What we say? That's not enough shots anyway. You didn't unload the clip. You're going to be off. Put them up. Put them up. So get to the basket and don't let your other game suffer. Get rebounds. Get steals. Pass the ball. Get your teammates involved. Get to the free throw line. That's how you counteract a bad shooting night. Tari Eason, man, if it wasn't for Tari Eason, this team would have lost by 50 points.
Oh, that's not good.
50 points. No doubt about it. And Tari Eason showed me something in this game because I didn't think he had that kind of offensive ability. I knew he could hit threes occasionally, things like that. But, man, knocking him down the way he did, steals in the open court, going to the hole, dunking it, the defense, harassment, knocking the ball loose, just all over the place. Tari Eason just put together a picture-perfect game for himself. Just amazing. 27 points by Tari Eason. 3 blocks. 4 steals. 9 rebounds. 3 for 5 from the three-point line. 11 for 19 from the field. And 35 minutes. And he deserved every minute of it. He played so hard, he got so tired, he pulled the Anthony Richardson. He tapped out. But this was a good tap out. This was a good tap out. The man was tired. He was carrying the whole team. Tari Eason, man, this guy, we're going to find a way. He carved himself out some more minutes. There's no doubt about that. The question is, how you going to be able to sneak him in the lineup if you need to sneak him in the lineup? Because you do need that punch off the bench. You know, you need that energetic. You need a guy in there to change the momentum of the game, just to amp the intensity a little bit. So it might not be too bad him coming off the bench right now. But Dylan Brooks, you can't put this guy to the bench. He's playing out of his mind as well this year. The defense, the timely shots, when his team is stagnant, can't find a bucket. But Alperen Sengun, man, I'm a big fan. Alperen Sengun, I am. But I'm going to give you a little piece of advice. I'm pretty sure you probably never watched this video, but I'm going to give you a little bit of advice. Just get to your action. Don't play around with the basketball. We know you can handle it. You're a big man that can do multiple things, right? You can handle the ball. You can dribble between your legs. You can do fancy passes. You can do all this stuff. Ime Udoka and a lot of people who know basketball a lot and know what you need to do just to amp your game up and be very effective. Just bang and get to your action. Get your shot off. Don't play around with the basketball. You can do your flamingo shot. I don't want to take that away from you. But you got to know when it's time to whip it out. You whip it out when you're up in the game. You whip it out early in the first quarter when it can go either way or the other. Tie game or it's still up for grabs. You really don't go to that move in a blowout game when you're down. You don't go to that move in a tight game coming down the stretch Unless you're feeling it, you've been playing well pretty much the whole game. Yeah, you can do it. You're in rhythm. You can do that. But if you've been struggling the whole game and you're not really knocking down shots, why go to that? You need to go to a power move. You need to go to the basket, into a player, instead of fading away from it. And I'm starting to think all the free throws getting to them. Because some players, when they start missing free throws, they don't want to get too physical in that paint. They don't want to see that free throw line. You know, he's a make and miss guy. Can miss too as well, but he's more make and miss. Especially in crunch time, it's hard to get this guy to make free throws on a consistent basis. And it probably plays with his head a little bit, so he shies away from contact at times. He makes physical moves. We've seen that. He's dunked on people. But he's not consistent. The key word for the whole team really is consistency. Bringing that game every game. Like Ime Udoka'S said, they only play a full 3 quarters, 2 quarters, 1 quarter. They haven't pulled together a full game yet, 1 through 4 quarters. And if they did that last night, they would be winning. So you got to give them credit. They were down 31 points and fought all the way back to force overtime. Golden State had to win this game 3 times. 3 times. And they bought in. They got the personality of the head coach, Ime Udoka. They're going to fight. They're going to scrap. They're going to brawl. They're not going to give up no matter what the score is on the clock. They got themselves back in the game. But when you ain't got no Steph Curry, you hear me? Klay Thompson is gone. Even in overtime, you don't talk about overtime. You didn't have Draymond Green in there. There was missing pieces. And you still can't pull out this game when you're at full force. That's the frustrating part. That's why everybody's up in arms. Because this season has to be a guaranteed playoff spot. You can't allow games like this to go by. These games will bite you in the end. Especially against a team that you know you don't like. It's a little semi-rivalry between this matchup. You had the upper hand. You were at home as well. In your backyard. Can't allow a wounded Golden State to come in your backyard and beat you. Let alone go up by 31 points. So yeah, it's very frustrating. And this was a tough loss. A very tough loss. Get it together. Stay focused. Try to get more consistent. Putting together all 4 quarters. And Jalen Green, like I said, don't just rely on that jump shot. Continue to do multiple things. And you were doing well early in the season. Do not fall off the wagon. Stay focused. Got to get more shots up. Got to get more rebounds every game. Don't let that 12 rebound game just be a fluke. Don't let it be a fluke. You ain't got to get 12 every game, but you need to get 6, 7, 8 a game. I don't want to leave out Amen Thompson. Outstanding game by him. He's emerging. See a difference in him this year. 18 points by the guy. 4 assists. He got him a steal. 11 rebounds, right? Not a big 3-point shooter. He was 0 for 2, but 8 for 15 from the field. 34 minutes. A lot of minutes for him, and he deserved those minutes. He deserves those minutes. He just needed to continue to work on his jump shot. Every practice, every off season, every time he picks up the ball, he just needs to take shots, take shots, take shots, take shots. And he's been hitting it on occasion, but we need a lot more of it because teams are going to back off of it. So yeah, the story of this game, the Rockets came out flat, put themselves in a hole. Credit to Golden State, their defense, they came out, they stopped a lot of action. They was pressing up. They were forcing Houston to play. They were forcing them to play. And I don't know if Houston looked at this game as no Steph Curry. Clay's not there. We can just waltz on in. We're at home. Yeah, they showed them. They hit them in the mouth. And they got down by 31. Had to fight back. They started this game the way they ended it, it'll be an easy win. It'll have been a blowout the other way around. Ime Udoka decided to go small. He benched Alperen Sengun, which got a lot of fans in the uproar. Want to go for his head, want to have him fired now. Want to say he's Steven Silas 2.0, which is crazy. So all these people that's fighting for Alperen Sengun, I want y'all to look at this now. Because y'all know it's a whole lot of truth in this. Yes, he's a good player. But y'all know as well as I know, there are times he plays around with that basketball. He loses that basketball. He misses easy layups. He's a defensive liability. Sometimes you don't have these high rebounding games. Bad positioning. When you can easily take a charge, if you're not going to take a charge, then you might as well try to block a shot. Sometimes he get caught in no man's land. He see a guy driving, but he wants to put his hands up and he want to scoot up against him as he's shooting a shot. They're going to call a block on that every time. All right? Alperen Sengun is a very talented big man. But most of y'all can even admit, when he gets the ball, it makes you a little bit nervous. Even Jalen Green makes me nervous. Not as much as last season. I'm a little more comfortable with him now. They got the ball in his hands and he's handling it a little bit more. But even Jalen Green is like a turnover waiting to happen. The way he handles it sometimes and very careless with it. You see when they double team him, he don't even sometimes know how to pass the ball out of the double team. They'll pick it off, tip it as he passing it, or he try to throw it low. They'll cut that off and get it on a steal. He has to learn when he's getting double teamed. You got to make these precise passes, especially in crunch time. Because it can cost you the game. All I'm saying, quit being so lax and free with the basketball in crucial moments, especially when you got bodies around you. And Alperen Sengun has a bad habit of that. And you put that with bad shot selection and crucial games, that will get you benched. And that's what Ime Udoka was looking at. Times were pressed at that time. Possessions are very key and crucial. Can't throw them away. So the Golden State Warriors were able to take down the Houston Rockets in overtime. And the way you look at this, you just say missed opportunities. Because that's exactly what it was. Missed opportunities.